Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is SoFlo Josh and I'm over here at Lorenzo Ford to film this 2025 Ford Expedition Tremor for y'all. With that being said, I want to give a huge shout out to them. Make sure to go ahead and contact Tommy if you're interested in purchasing this Ford right here or any other Ford. So underneath the hood of this Expedition is the 3.5 liter Ecoboost V6 producing 440 horsepower, 510 pound-feet of torque. Now this is mated to Ford's 10-speed automatic transmission with all-wheel drive, and you can even have a locking rear differential for this model. But let's go ahead and talk about the exterior styling of the all-new Expedition. So for 2025, we got a complete redesign of the Expedition. If you're wondering what the old one looked, guess what? That's what it is over there. That's the old version. This is a new one. As you can see, it is a lot more squared off, boxy front end design, which mimics that of what you see in the Ford truck portfolio. So you see a more squared off design up in the front. It's nice compared to the old angular design where it was more tapered back on the hood section as well as the front grille, and the way it kind of wrapped around wasn't really that nice. But now with this all new generation, we have a really nice design. So we're gonna get full LED headlights as well as your DRL running lights. Turn signals are going to be in the amber effect, of course, in the front. At the rear, it's actually going to be red, but very nice design. Since this is the Tremor version, we're going to get some blacked out exterior package design. So the Expedition across the grille is going to be finished in blacked out, as well as the grille. We're going to get a nice satin gray, gunmetal gray finish design. And in the lower part of the front grille, as you see, we have LED fog lamps as well as air pass-through that go around the wheel section. We have that same Tremor design color, which is like that, burnt orange design. We get tow hooks up at the front, and underneath here, we actually get a skid plate. As you see, it is actual a skid plate. It's not one of those phony ones like what we see in something like a Subaru or any other vehicle like that for that matter. But we got those nice orange tow hooks over here at the front. It's going to be very helpful. And then you get a full 360 degrees camera as well. We get these new 33-inch all-terrain tires on the side. This is actually going to be really good. It has a ton of sidewall, especially with these 18-inch wheel designs. Depending on the trim level you get, if you go for the King Wrench and so on and so forth, you actually get bigger rim designs, which have less sidewall. This is going to be the greatest for when it comes to adventuring and going off-roading. Tons of sidewall, like I mentioned, 18-inch wheels, looks really good. Meaty tires, what you'd expect from a off-road trim level. Now, on the side profile, as you see, we do have a distinct line that starts at the front fender and then goes all the way to the rear fender quarter area and disappears. Now, I really like the way this vehicle looks from the front, the side, and even the rear. I think this design is phenomenal. As you see, the D-pillar section where the window wraparound is for the rear tailgate, as well as the C-pillar section, it's actually blacked out, and they did it to go ahead and have like a floating roof design for this model. But really nice design overall. You got the Tremor trim right there to let you know you do have that. We got full LED side markers over here on the turn signal. You got a blacked out housing for your mirror, as well as 360 degrees camera. And I just want to say a benefit of the Tremor model is that up here we have zonal exterior LED lighting. So what is that? Now, they have this feature inside where you can go ahead and press all zones. And what that does is that it's going to go ahead and illuminate. Let's say, for example, you're at a campsite. You want to illuminate the whole entire campsite. Well, guess what? That will actually be very beneficial. Over here at the rear taillights, you will have full LED lighting down here, and it actually will illuminate. And even down underneath the actual spoiler, which is very, very nice that Ford went ahead and did that. Very different from what you see compared to the competitors, especially on the Toyota side and the Chevy side. They don't really have something like that. It's very unique, very much catering towards that off-road community. Now, as I mentioned, at the rear, we get full LED tail lights. So this is gonna be your tail lights right here. You have your reverse lamp, turn signal right here, and your brake lights incorporated into there. We got a nice reflector, Expedition spelled out across with that orange accent. Your Ford logo is gonna be finished in black with the silver lining on the lettering. And then at the back, as you see, the rear bumper is finished in a gloss black. This does have the cover for your actual tow hitch, so your tow hitch will be right behind there. And we even get a spare tire right underneath there. Your exhaust system is off to the right, but let's go ahead and get into the rear area. Now, opening up the tailgate, the one thing that they added for this generation of the Expedition is a split tailgate. Thank you, Ford. I love split tailgates, and they finally incorporated it in their largest SUV. So as you see, you have a ton of space over here. Ford does have an optional little tray section that you can actually hook up to these little tabs right here, or even these back tabs. And what that does is you can have a 2-tier style storage, or you can even fold it down and have it as a backrest, so you could sit comfortably over here and watch your kids maybe playing soccer, or at the campsite eating food in the back of the back seat area right here, which is really nice to see. But as you see, we have a lot of space back here, and we even get some LED lighting, 2 USB Type-Cs. We have a 120 volt outlet right there, as well as your 120 volt 400 watt max AC outlet as well, which is really nice. Storage space underneath here, so you could put that little tray section as well, or even put anything else. And you even get some storage off to the left. We have power seats, so we can go ahead and drop the left side, and we can even drop the right side. So only the third row is power operated. The second row is manually operated. So just letting you guys know that. But once you do that, you have a ton of space back here. So just know, if you need to fit large items, you can easily do that for this model. In the rear tailgate, you can either just put this one up first and then close this one, or you could just press this button right here and it will close both of them together. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the rear seat compartment area. So as you see, we have a large door, opens at almost a full 90 degrees angle. And let's talk about the door card area. So we're gonna have soft padding up at the top with the orange accents that we see for the Tremor trim. We have a nice little trim level right here with a Noro effect right here on this silver piece. Soft padding all across, your door handle release, auto sliding mirrors. We have a little compartment space right there, your Bang & Olufsen speaker system, and tons of cubby space underneath here as well. So as you see, the seat is actually folded completely down. Once you do that, you can go ahead and just press that lever up and fold it down. Now, the best part about this is that you could just go like this and it'll tumble forward and fully lay flat. Or to get into the rear compartment area, you could just press that button on the top of the headrest and easily get into the rear compartment area. So somebody who is 6 foot, not 6 foot, but 5'10", let's go ahead and talk about overall space. So let's actually raise this one over here off to the right, because this is where I have it at its farthest back position. But I sit comfortably back here at 5'10". You know, headroom wise, since this is a more, straight back roof design, I actually have a lot of headroom space. We even get some vents up here for the rear occupants, a microphone just in case if, the parents are talking to the grandma, they can easily talk to them. Full LED lighting back here, and an actual seat belt that magnetizes into this section right here. 2 clips off to the right, and you even have power retractable top section of the seat. So that's great. Cubby space right here. You can have your cup holder, 2 USB Type-Cs on either side, and a little section for some snacks. But tons of space back here. You could fit maybe 3 adults comfortably back here, which is actually quite interesting. We even get 2 speakers. Actually, this is your subwoofer, my bad. But all in all, great interior compartment space back here, and you can easily get into the second row section. So sitting back here at 5'10", like I mentioned, I have probably 2.5 inches of overall leg space behind this seat. I would actually have more if I was sitting on that side. We can actually test it out really quick. So if we slide this back and get into this area, yeah, I mean, look at that. Sitting behind myself, I have probably about, I don't know, maybe 5 inches of overall legroom space. As you see, there is a ton of area to put stuff in. You have a USB Type-C underneath here to go ahead and charge your iPad. You can get 2 cup holders back here, a tri-zone climate control area, 2 heated seats for the outboard section, easily done and accessible. Back here we still have that AC 120 volt 400 watt AC outlet right there, so you can power maybe your laptop or anything else. And you even get a grab handle here with roof mounted vents, full LED lighting, and you also get that hook. Now you do get a panoramic sunroof in this model, which is actually quite large, so it's going to add some lighting into the rear cabin space. But all in all, very great interior space on the back section. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the interior in the front. So we're gonna have soft touch at the top section with the orange accent, soft touch right here as well, and a neural design around the silver section with your door unlock and lock right there. Your whole entire switch gear for your side mirrors, you can go ahead and power fold them, automatic 4-way for all the windows, and then your door release right here. You even get some stitching right here finished in black with tons of storage space. Bang & Olufsen speaker system right there. Front seats, let's talk about it. We have the Tremor logo right here with the orange accent. You got orange stitching all across on the side, as well as some of the black stitching that we saw on the door card, which is really nice. Nice leather with perforation down the middle. These are heated and cooled seats. They're fully power seats. So you have a 2-way lumbar control for these seats. Now, if you go for the king wrench, it's a little bit different. You can get a 4-way. But let's get into the interior. Close the door and let's start this bad boy up. So right off the bat with this model, as you see, we have a 24-inch panoramic display across the whole entire dash, which is really nice. Well, at least this portion of the dash. And then down below, we do have your 13.2-inch touchscreen display. Now, this is the Google embedded one that we first saw in the new Explorer. So now we finally get it in the Expedition. And yes, if you swipe up, you can actually go to YouTube and you can actually watch videos there. Let's go to my channel. And as you see, you can actually go to watch videos whenever you are parked. Now, once you put it into drive, you're gonna see that it disappears, it's locked. So it's an added safety precaution. But really nice to see that we have the Google system in this model. Now, this screen up here in the front, it's actually customizable via here. So once you press this button, you can actually change it. So you can have either none of the media, or you could put your fuel economy right there, tire pressuring monitoring system, as well as your off-road status to let you know what it is. You do have your whole entire, navigation off to the right, which is a really nice thing. But down the middle, you're gonna have your speedometer with your limiter right there to let you know what the speed limit is in the area. And then you have your vehicle. Once you have your foot on the brake, it actually goes ahead and presses the brake into the display, which is pretty cool. But overall, very nice display. I like this system compared to what we had prior to, because you have a ton of customization to do with this section. It's no longer something where it was not that customizable as the prior Fords used to have. This one is a little bit different. We finally get that in this vehicle, but tons of things we can do in here. We have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and then your lighting for the exterior is actually going to be in here. So you can go ahead and change the lighting for the exterior as well as the interior. So we do have ambient lighting for this model. We could change the brightness. You have purple, red, blue, another blue, orange, green, and another blue, which is pretty nice to see. And then this model does, like I mentioned, it does have that zonal lighting exterior. If we press this button and we go to all zones, let me actually take you outside so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, it is light outside, but LED lighting right there. We get the LED lighting for the rear lights, and over here on the bottom section of the spoiler, like I was mentioning in the full walk around of the exterior. But pretty nice to see that we have that for this model. Now, I will say this steering wheel is very unique. It's very different. The 9-3 grip actually feels really good. I have, medium-sized hands, nothing too big. I'm not a guitarist, but actually you have, a really nice 9-3 grip area over here. And then when you're turning, as you see, very direct and good steering input. Now, this does have the section where you can actually change the steering wheel column area. So you kind of do it like what Rivian does, where you could just press this button right here It's kind of like 1-to-1 ratio what they've done for this section. You even get adjustable pedals, so you can go ahead and push them forward or back, which is pretty nice to see. And then you even get some sections for your music, so you can increase it or decrease it right here. And then over here you do have your cruise control. So once you see, I don't know if you noticed this, but once you put your finger on here, it will light up right there, which is really nice. I like the fact that they've done this. This is a lot better than what I've noticed in some of the systems, like for example Volkswagen. Volkswagen has this thing where their touch capacitive stuff isn't the best, and I think this is actually really well done. I think the UI team did a phenomenal job when it comes to these button layouts. You do have a column right here to go ahead and turn your turn signal on. Since this model does come with the 360 degrees camera, you will see a camera pop up on either side whenever you have your turn signal on, which is pretty cool that they went ahead and did that. But interior space, really nice. You have your switch gear right here. Let's go ahead and throw it into reverse. Large display area to go ahead and see exactly where you're backing up to. As you see, it does have trajectory, which is another nice thing to have in this large vehicle. And then you even have a plus button right here where you can go ahead and adjust it, so you could see on either end of what you need to increase or decrease for the overall size. So you can see how you can get it to where it's just showing the rear quarter section on this button layout, which is pretty nice. So dropping it back down into park, you have your volume control, automatic start stop, which we're going to go ahead and turn off. You have your parking assistance feature or parking chimes, as it says right there. Emergency lighting right there. Camera dedicated section, so you could go ahead and see the dedicated camera view. You have your traction control off, and you even have a hill descent control area, so that's going to help out whenever you are in a hill section. Now this does have the manual mode on the shifter, so once you put into manual, you can actually shift up and down via this section. But you know, it's pretty adequate. I mean, I kind of wish that there was paddle shifters up here, but at the end of the day, if you just want to put your hand up here and you're driving with your hand over here, you could easily just do that. You have Expedition spelled out across with this neural design. I love this trim level. I don't know exactly what this trim level is, but it's very unique. It's something I've never felt in a car. You even get soft padding across the whole dash. You have that same exact speaker soundbar that we found in the Explorer. It's now actually implemented into here, so you have a full width soundbar across the whole entire dash. And check out this, we have a power retractable center console area, so you could put large items in here, maybe a bag or anything else. You could just fit it right there and hide it away from anybody. So let's say, for example, you're going to the beach and you don't want anybody accessing your stuff or prying at the stuff that you have. Guess what? You could just hide it in there. We do have a little tray area right here to go ahead and close this section off. You have your Pro Trailer Assistance right here, since this does come with that rear hitch. Wireless charging pad, USB Type-C, regular USB, and then 2 large cup holders. So guess what? This is a 32 ounce, as it says right there, 32 ounce bottle of water. And guess what? It fits perfectly in that cup holder section. Very well done for it. I love to see that, because I like to drink about 60 to 70 ounces of overall water. But as you see right here, we do have a large bin section, 2 USB Type-Cs. We even get a 12 volt over here off to the side, which is pretty nice. And then we get this little tray, so you can add some stuff, maybe a pen or some snacks as well. But overall, it's really nice. Now, another cool thing about this whole entire section that slides back is that it's going to be easier for the kids or maybe your family members to get their bottled waters that they have right here. So easily done. Very smart the way that Ford went ahead and did this. I really like the way they've done this whole entire interior space. Off to the left, as you see, you have your drive mode selector, so you can go ahead and go from normal, tow haul mode, eco, sport, slippery, off-road, and your raw crawl. So these two right here are actually going to be dedicated to the Tremor trim. They're not going to be incorporated in the other trims because they're not an off-road capable vehicle like this one right here. But you do have a rear locking differential right here. You have 2 high, 4 auto, 4 low, and then 4 high right over here, which is really nice. Mind you, this is a full-time all-wheel drive system. It's not a 4-wheel drive system, I should say. It's not going to be like what the Toyota has, where it's that old style, not full time. It's more of a older generation all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive system. But with this vehicle, it's a little bit different. You do have your trunk release right here. You can either open up the top portion or you can open up both sections, and then you have a emergency parking brake right there. Now, getting over here, as you see, you do have a large sunroof. So we're gonna have a power retractable sunroof. You don't actually have to hold it, but you can press it twice and it opens up a ton of lighting into the cabin space, which is always an added plus when it comes to having a large vehicle like this, a family vehicle. This is a family vehicle. I mean, even though this isn't the max version, it's still a family vehicle. We do have LED exterior or interior lighting, I should say, so you could go ahead and actually turn them off right there. And then we even have a sunglass holder right over here. Really nice to see that. A lot of car companies, believe it or not, have been getting rid of having a sunglass holder. I have no idea why they've been doing that lately, but they have when it comes to these vehicles. But we do have a home link right here for your garage, and then opening up right here, as you see, it even has LED lighting for the mirror. And then when you go ahead and actually push it out to the side, we do have sliding sun visors. So really nice thing, it does pass the sun visor test. Shout out to Straight Pipes, awesome people. But with that being said, let's go ahead and take it out for a drive. Go ahead and shift it into drive, very straightforward, that rotary shifter that's been known for Fords. And let's go ahead and take it out to South Dixie. Now, like I mentioned, this model is the 5th generation Ford Expedition. Now, this one over here has the 3.5 liter twin turbocharged Ecoboost V6 producing 440 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque to all 4 wheels, or only just the rear wheels, because you can go ahead and shift that into 2-wheel drive. But let's go ahead and see how the turning radius is. Taking it back over here, flooring it a little bit. Tons of power delivery, fantastic. Wow, this feels really good. And mind you, this 3.5 liter twin turbo EcoBoost has been around for quite some time. You know, think about it, they've refined it, they've made it better. I mean, heck, look at the one that's in the 3 liter, which is a part of the family of the 3.5 liter that's in the Explorer ST. That engine can make tons of horsepower. I'd love to see Ford maybe make a performance tune for the Ford Performance for the Tremor, actually. But overall, the ride comfortability in this vehicle is phenomenal. I mean, this is a body-on-frame vehicle, and it feels just like what you expect, a body-on-frame vehicle. It competes against the Tahoe as well as the Sequoia and even the Nissan Armada, believe it or not. So you will have that with this vehicle. It's gonna have that body-on-frame feeling, and once you floor it, you know, it feels a lot better. I will say this, you know what? This feels 10 times better than what you felt in the Toyota Sequoia. I actually like this powertrain a whole of a lot more than that Sequoia that I drove with the iForce Max, the Platinum version. This just feels a lot more solid, a lot more put together. This is what a Ford vehicle is. Ford has been known for having exceptional body-on-frame vehicles, and this new 5th generation Expedition, let me tell you, it's very good. The suspension feels good. You know, we're gonna go ahead and actually put it into sport mode. We're gonna press down on the gas. Wow, that V6 really screams. Yes, it's piped in audio, but guess what? You know what? Really good. Now, I will mention, since this is the, you know, off-road capable model, it's going to have a little bit of road intrusion noise thanks to these all-terrain tires that we have on this model. So since it is the all-terrain tires, you're going to hear a little bit more noise coming from those tires. But guess what? You know what? You might as well go ahead and do it. And speaking about that, let's talk about this pricing. So this one here starts at $81,000 for the Tremor trim. With the options that are for this model, it comes out to $83,000, which honestly, this is really good. I mean, it has a ton of ground clearance. It's actually class leading with a 10.5-inch ground clearance compared to that of what you see in the Chevy Z71 package model. So you're going to have a ton of off-road capability in this vehicle. I mean, look at the interior space. You have this large 24-inch, you know, panoramic view display that can be extremely customizable. Has Apple CarPlay down here in the middle, has the Google embedded. This is something better. Look, you even have Burger King that lets you know right there. Anyways, very nice interior, and the overall performance of this vehicle is exceptionally well. It's something you would expect from a Ford product. Let's go ahead and do a U-turn. Let's see how the turning rate is. Actually, really good for a full-size SUV. Wow, fantastic. And flooring it, oh, that feels good. You get up to speed extremely fast. I mean, you really don't need a V8 underneath the hood of this Expedition. I know that the Chevy equivalent of this, the Tahoe, has the V8, but honestly, this is enough power and enough torque to go ahead and get you to and from areas that you have and all that. But let me talk about the steering wheel. I know this is going to be this is one of the most controversial parts about this new updated Expedition is the steering wheel. This is a really good steering wheel when it comes to doing that U-turn there, for example, or even when I went around that curve over there off to the left. I mean, it was great. It doesn't feel bad whatsoever. The 9-3 grip area is exceptionally well. I mean, it beats out even some of the performance cars that I've driven in the past, which is kind of crazy to say when it comes to, a family hauler like this vehicle right here. You don't really see that when it comes to such a vehicle of this size. You don't see something like that being mentioned, but it is here. It's a fantastic steering wheel. I like the little haptic stuff right here that you can control over here on the display. I'm used to something similar that you would find in the Rivian. The Rivian has these little tactile stuff right here. As you see, easy. I mean, this steering wheel just feels really good to the touch, and flooring it, you could hear a little bit of the blow off. Oh, that's awesome. Something really quick. Let me go ahead and leave her here. Floor it. Wow, this vehicle is awesome, man. This is awesome. This V6 is just something else. This is a great car. Even these bumps, it's eating these bumps up so well. Potholes and stuff like that. I mean, there's no potholes there, but they're covered up. And even then, it just eats it up. It soaks it up so well, thanks to the off-road suspension and these all-terrain tires that we have for this model. Phenomenal job, Ford. Phenomenal job. Once again, I want to give a huge thank you to Lorenzo Ford for allowing me to film this vehicle. Make sure to go ahead and contact Tommy. He'll be able to assist you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again. Make sure to go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.